Hey everyone, welcome to Cyber Sex with Simons. So yeah, it's been a wild few weeks, and that's why I haven't been going online or posting any videos. We had the fires going on in Spokane. Work's been kind of crazy. College has been kind of crazy, and yeah, prepping to get my engagement all taken care of with my lady overseas. So yeah, it's been pretty busy. I hope everybody else has been doing well. Today, we are just going to be going over some basic, let's see, PowerShell prompting. I'm sorry, not PowerShell, command prompt in Linux or bash shell prompting. I had to Google how you reference that in our virtual machine. So if you've watched my day 3.5 video, I went and used VirtualBox to create a virtual machine in my Windows in desktop. So the neat thing about a virtual machine is we're basically using what's called a hypervisor. So a hypervisor is a piece of software, and you can think of it like a supervisor that's like, hey, RAM, I need a little bit of you. Hey, CPU, I need a little bit of you. Hey, hard drive, I need a little you. And hey, graphics card, I need a little you. And we're going to create like a tiny little computer inside of our computer. And it's completely isolated from the rest of my computer. At least all of that bits and pieces of the hardware is. And the hypervisor commands and controls those little aspects of the computer that I give it, and we can run a totally different computer inside of my computer. So it's awesome for students like me or people who want to save money like that. And they use it a lot in like the corporate environment as well. If you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a gigantic server, you want to be able to utilize all of that server as much as you can, right? So that's what they do in a lot of cases. They create virtual machines that take up a lot of that hardware, but in little segments each. So maybe one part of it might be like your DHCP server, which is your dynamic host configuration protocol server. That's in charge of like assigning IP addresses. And then maybe you have like a web server, your email server, all in one big server rack. But you want to be able to utilize all of the hardware in there just for different purposes and reasons. And in cybersecurity, they use virtual machines a lot because if you get a piece of malware, you might want to figure out like what that malware actually does. You want to dissect it. You want to test solutions for it. So it's kind of like creating a sterile environment that's not going to destroy your network or your computer. And you can just put it into the virtual machine and see like, how do you destroy my computer? What do you do? What are you looking at? So we ended up doing that in my video 3.5, and we installed a Linux distribution in it. So this is awesome for me. So I have one desktop, but I have two operating systems, so I can practice on both. And then like in later videos, when we get into like server administration and stuff like that, well, maybe we can go about creating a virtual machine with like server operating systems on it, like Windows Server 2019, I think is what we've been working on in my recent college course. Anyways, today's going to be a pretty short video. I just want to spin up the virtual machine and then practice some, how do they refer to working in the bash shell or at the Linux command prompt. I had to chat GPT that. So let's get over to it right now. So as you can see, I had the chat GPT, like how do you refer to Linux? So we'll just say at the Linux command prompt. So like the difference being is like in my Windows computer, we have command prompt, which you can just type in CMD, which will pull up the command prompt. But with Windows, we also have PowerShell, Windows PowerShell. So we have two different things we can use there, but we're going to be working on our Linux machine today. So let's start off. In all of my videos so far for the daily series, we've been using VS Code for our notes, which has been awesome. I love VS Code a lot. It's free on computers, but if you want to buy it for like your tablet or your smartphone, it does cost some money per month. But the neat thing about this that I like is you can get it to where it'll sync up across your devices. And the other big thing is, like, compared to using like a Word document or something like that, there's no spell check in here. I can just type in whatever I want, which is important when you're doing syntax, right? I don't want to type in mkdir and then have it rewritten out to, I don't know. I can't even think of a word that's close to that. But you see what I'm saying, right? Like, autocorrect will mess up your syntax. It'll mess up the notes that you're trying to make, especially when we're trying to learn in this environment. So in video 3.5, we use VirtualBox to create our virtual machine. So let's go ahead and open that up. And my virtual machine's powered down right now, so we're just going to double click that real quick to get it started up. Yeah, we'll go ahead and switch. But I hope everybody's having a good day. If you were affected by the forest fires, I hope everything's going good for you, and I hope your home is safe. I know it was pretty stressful for me. I had to pack up a lot of, like, all of my important stuff and have it all in my car just in case, because I also work. Okay, so we successfully got into our Linux machine on my Windows machine, right? I'm not trying to fool anybody. We can see that I'm still in my Windows machine here, but I have a Linux machine inside of that. And once again, if you want a quick guide, check out my video, my day 3.5. I'll walk you through how to set it up. If you check out day 3, you watch me struggle a lot. I try to be as open and honest about my learning journey as I can. And then we'll get logged in here. All right, and this is our regular Linux machine looking background that we have. So we want to get into the Linux command prompt. What we're going to do is we're going to hold down Control, Alt, and then press T, and that'll get us up. So that's our Linux command prompt. And then remember the difference between our command prompt and then the GUI, right? The GUI. The GUI is our graphic user interface. It's all the stuff that we can click on and play with, all of our buttons that we can mess with on the operating system. So just to show you, like, GUI wise, if we go and click on this folder, we're interacting with the GUI. And then we can see that we have a bunch of other folders. So just as a refresher, folders and directories are the exact same thing. There's no distinction between the two things, okay? I just want to put that out there because especially when you're studying for it, you're going to hear directory said a lot. Directory and folder just means the exact same thing. It's nothing to get too stressed out about. So we're over here and where we are currently working out of the Linux command prompt, and we can type in a command. Let's do pwd. Pwd is print working directory, and we can pull up our notes on that as well. Pwd. So it displays the full path of the current working directory. So the current working directory is where the computer says that we're working at right now. So right here, if we press enter, if I don't press my notes, there we go. If we press enter there, we can see our current working directory, which is in home and then cybersex user. And then let's pull our notes back up here. And that's basically it. PWD isn't too hard, but once again, that stands for print working directory. And it's where we are currently at least in the Linux command prompt. That's where we're currently at in the Linux command prompt. So the next one that we want to go to, one of the next big ones is PWD. Is mkdir. Make directory, mkdir. This is going to create a new directory or folder. They're the same thing. Directory and folder is the same thing. And that's going to be pretty easy to do. And we can just do that by typing in mkdir. And then we can type in something like Naruto. And as you can see over here in our GUI, our graphic user interface, we made the new directory or the new folder Naruto. And let's just say we want to go inside of this directory. We can do that in the graphic user interface by just double clicking it. We can go back and we right click and hit open. 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 There we go. Sorry, I'm still learning too. So you can double click it or you can right click, open, and then, oh, I guess you can open in a new tab or in a new window, or you can open it in terminal. So we can, let's explore. What's open a new tab do? I don't know exactly what that did. Okay. And then let's hit open. Let's try open in terminal. What's that do? Oh, neat. So if we open in terminal, we go right to it right here, as you can see, with our Linux command prompt. We can do the same here, hopefully. Let's just double check real quick. Remember we did print working directory? Let's try that. So home, cybersex user, Naruto. Well, here we're not in the Naruto directory. Let's try that. So let's do cd, which is change directory, space, /home, /cybersex user, and then /Naruto. So you see how we got the same exact thing? So now in the Linux command prompt, we are inside of the Naruto directory. So that's exactly like this right here. These two things are the exact same thing. I'm inside of this directory and I'm inside of this directory. So if I want to make a new folder inside of here with the graphic user interface, I would just right click, new folder, and let's call this sauce. Okay. All right, cool. So there, we see that we have Sasuke in here now. And how do we figure out what's all in here? Well, maybe we have multiple folders. Let's make another one. Let's call this one Neji. And let's call this one Sakura. And then maybe we also have Hinata. So we have 4 in here. Well, how do we figure that out over here? There's a command that we can do. Let's see. I think it's ls-l. And then, yeah, here we can see we have directories. So this first character right here, this D, that tells us it's a directory. And then everything after that, the RWX, RWXR, those are different types of permissions that are assigned to the file. I kind of forget, even though, I'm sorry, I just studied it, but I kind of forget the location of whose permission is what. But R is the ability to read what is inside of the directory. So I can read anything that's inside of Hinata or Neji or Sakura or Sasuke. I can read what's inside of there. And there's 2 groups that are set up. So RWX and RWX, which, if I recall correctly, would be user permission. So me as an individual user, what I can do. And then group permissions, if I belonged to a group. I'll have to double check on that, so don't take that for 100%. But R is the ability to read. W is the ability to write. So I can add more directories there, or I can add a text file, or I can add an application there. And then X is the ability to execute. So if you have, let's say inside of Hinata, I have Discord or OBS Studios, one of those things, an application that I want to launch. Executing is that. Executing is the ability to launch an application, something of that nature. So LSL lists everything that's inside of our current directory. So we're inside of Naruto, and essentially speaking, everything we see here is what we see here. We see everything that's listed there. Perfect. So let's see. Well, let's see. Neji probably doesn't belong here, right? Maybe we want to move Neji somewhere else. Let's go back. I'm gonna go home, and then let's make a new place. Let's call this Guy. Like we got Guy Sensei. Actually, yeah, let's change that. We're gonna right click and we're gonna hit rename so we can name it something else. We got Guy Sensei. All right. Well, so while we're in Naruto, we know that Neji doesn't belong here. What are you doing, Neji? You're not part of Naruto's team. So let's see. We should be able to right click and hit move to, and then home, and then Guy Sensei, and we can select there. Well, we just saw that Neji disappeared. That's wild. Let's see. Azure. So aren't you testing Ubuntu? Virtual machine is more like a virtual PC. You are using Ubuntu on it, right? Yeah, I have Ubuntu downloaded on my virtual machine with VirtualBox. Well, VirtualBox is my hypervisor, but I have Ubuntu downloaded on it. So it is a virtual machine on my Windows PC. So I'm sorry, going back, we just moved Neji over to Guy Sensei, right? And we can see that we were successful there. But if we're working on the PowerShell command prompt, let's try to make that happen as well. I struggled bust with this for a little bit too. So what we want to do is we're going to move Hinata over to Guy Sensei. So let's give that a try. We're going to do MV. Well, my main PC is pretty old. I'm not quite sure what the specs are. I know it has a 4070, and yeah, that's about it. We can go and check that out though. Task manager, and then performance. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still pretty new at figuring out what's what. So here's the GPU. We have 16 cores, and yeah, there's my base speed. I don't know if that's helpful at all, but and then GPU is the GeForce. Not quite sure. Yeah. DDR5L. Anyways, getting a little sidetracked there. But we're trying to move Hinata over to Guy Sensei. Let's pull up the notes just as a refresher, because like I said, this is just a refresher for me as well. And so we're going to be using MV as our command there. And then we need to identify the source, which is going to be / home / cyber sex user / Naruto / Hinata. So we have the full path of where Hinata is, and we need to move Hinata over to Guy Sensei. So we're going to put a space in there. Now we're going to do / home / cyber sex user, and then / Guy Sensei. And if I recall correctly, because Guy Sensei has a space in there. One of the big things that we have to do to make this actually work is we have to surround the path, the destination path specifically, with quotes. Let's see if that worked for us. It's been a while since I practiced this. All right, we didn't get an error, so that's kind of promising. And then we'll go and check Guy Sensei, and we were successfully able to move Hinata. Awesome sauce. What's our next command? So Alex's totally. There we go. We're back now. No, my mic unplugged. You can blame me. It's not Microslop, and don't blame them. So, oh God, how long was that out for? No, I can't see a timeline there. There we go. We're back in action. Sorry, gents. Hopefully that wasn't too long. All right. So we've covered remove directory and we've covered make directory. We've covered print working directory. Oh, okay. 3 minutes. That's not bad. Oh, 7 to 8. That's bad. I'm still a new streamer, so accidents happen. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. All right, let's check our notes. Were there any other ones we need to work on? Oh, thank you so much, Azure. I really appreciate you. Let's make some more. Does anybody like anime? Should we make any directories about anime just to practice our skills? Or any other characters? Yeah, I'll wait on you, Alex. Yeah, I haven't looked in the Ranger at all. So let's do that right now while we're live, since that's something you'd recommend. I don't just go randomly downloading stuff people recommend. Like I learned that the hard way with being on Reddit for anime recommendations and stuff. You download something or you look at something and then you're like, oh, that's not good. Let's check it out though. So, what is Ranger as a Linux download? So Ranger is a terminal-based file manager for Linux. Think of it like File Explorer, but running entirely inside the command line. Instead of clicking folders with a mouse, you navigate them with a keyboard. It gives you a multi-column view showing things like this. So we see home, Thomas, documents, download pictures. You can use it to browse directories, preview files, copy, move, delete files, and launch files from the terminal. On Ubuntu, Debian, you typically install with this, then start with that. So if your lab says to download/install Ranger, it's basically having you whatever. Okay, sounds good to me. Let's YOLO see what happens. Let's get back to that prompt though. Sudo apt install Ranger. Okay, that sounds easy. Okay. Well, let's see what happens there. Might take a second to download. Windows 11 insta kills you internally. Oh no. All right. So let's see. And then we're gonna do we're just gonna bash Ranger. So let's cd and then bash Ranger. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. That makes it really easy just to go through. Ubuntu, why? All because I'm a brand new to IT and trying to learn something I have zero clue about. Yeah, I'm sorry you're having such a hard time with that. So let's see if it refreshes in live time. So if we go in the Guy Sensei and then we do a new folder and type in Hinata. Oh, it updates live. That's pretty awesome. Very cool. Hmm. Well, I tried the HK, yeah, the HJKL. That didn't seem to do much for me. Oh, there it is. Oh, neat. That feels awkward though. Oh, now we got too much stuff. Let's go back to. I'm gonna back out of that. Close, and then Control Alt T to open it back up, and then we'll do Ranger. Yeah, I definitely like how that looks more. That's pretty cool. All right, take care, Alex. Have a great day. So you can, huh? You're lurking too. So if I were to do, oh, A is rename. That's interesting. Colon. You can do colon EX. What's that? I'm scared with really funny commands, Azure. That sounds dangerous. So mark path. Let's do uh, N. So T flags it. So let's try 5. Okay. How do I get to bash in here? I want to open with. I think we'll just stick with the bash prompting. Ranger is really cool for navigating, though. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's a new one I haven't tried before. All right, let's go back to just refresh some stuff real quick. Go home and let's see where we're at right now. We'll do pwd. There we are. If we want to make a new directory, we can do mkdir, and then we'll do, let's see, Kakashi. And then we can do change directory to home cyber sex user Kakashi. And then from here we can do mkdir Naruto mkdir. Oh, let's go into Kakashi so we can see it happening in real life. Sakura, and then mkdir Sasuke. All right, so we got our team 7. Try to create a thumbnail by your own because AI generated thumbnail are so SHI and so much colorful. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, it's all me and only me doing this. And, like, if I made my own thumbnail, they would be pretty trash. I don't have anybody to help with setting anything up or making thumbnails or editing videos. It's all me. All right. So we got our directory set up. And just as a refresher, if we wanted to delete a directory, it would be rmdir. And then we type in the directory name, which would be like Sasuke. And that'll remove it. The other thing, though, is if we wanted to make a directory with any spaces in the name, we have to have it surrounded by quotes. So let's just do Sasuke Uchiha. And that's how we would go about making it there. And same thing with removing it. And then we get rid of it. And I think that's a pretty good refresher on our basic Linux stuff. And yeah, I think in video 5, we'll go ahead and try to get into some more advanced stuff. But yeah, I think that's where we're at for now. Anyways, thank you so much, Azure. I appreciate your time. And Alex and Rowan Paul, appreciate you being here. Thank you all so much for joining in. If you have any ideas for another video, just remember that I'm a brand new guy into the world of IT. I'm trying to keep it simple. This video was just testing out our virtual machine. I wanted to make one so that way anybody who's a student like me, they can have one machine. Hopefully it's kind of okay. And we can practice on different operating systems without having to wipe the whole thing, then install a new OS. So yeah, this was just to battle test our operating system that we installed with VirtualBox. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one.